everyone, Chubu here, and I'm a massive fan of Super Sentai. Super Sentai is where Power Rangers gets its source footage, its fight scenes, its mecha from, and I've been a massive fan for years, just as long as I've been a fan of Kamen Rider. Recently, we have gotten, I guess, very sad news that Super Sentai is basically gonna end. It's kind of up in the air because we have Project Red or whatever on the way, but Gojuger is our current season of Super Sentai, and I argue it is not worthy of being the final season if it is the final season. I think we can do one better. So I've put together what I would deem the truly final Sentai, a proper send-off to such a long-running historical show. And this is going to be a bit of a longer one with everything under the cover. So if you want to see me talk even more about Tokusatsu, I do a lot of Kamen Rider, of course. I'll probably do more Super Sentai if this video gets liked. If you subscribe, of course, you'll see more of it. You know the drill by now, but I'm gonna hop right into it. So a couple years back, there was Saikyo Battle, Strongest Battle in English, and it was a mini-series that aired between seasons, and it was a glorified crossover event. It brought back a ton of old actors, and the whole premise was Super Sentai has to fight each other. The winning team gets a wish, and each team is composed of various members. I took that idea and format and made a new miniseries. Basically, Saikyo Battle 2, rather than a 4-episode miniseries, this will be an 8-episode miniseries, and rather than 32 teams, we're gonna cut that in half to 16 teams. So it's less Rangers, but due to the longer episodes with smaller team counts for the battles, you're gonna see every fight, or at least every round. You're going to see all the matches, even if some end up being kind of short, you'll still see them and get to see these suits in action. And that's the fun part. You know, if we're going to send this off, I want to showcase everything Sentai has to offer. With 16 teams, I did make all the teams. And before I get to the plot, I'm going to go over the teams, because I think that's the most important part. The big thing here is each Sentai season, so the 50 teams, will be represented at least by one member. On top of that, I have some other rules. For one, whatever the first member I mention is, that'll be the team's captain or leader. And on top of that, I made it so you can't have more than 2 members from the same season. For example, I wouldn't put Goju Wolf and then 2 other Gojujers on the team, making it 3 Gojujers. I'm just putting 1 or 2 at most. That being said, I did take a variety of ideology and reasoning as to why the teams are made the way they are, and I did make sure every single season is represented. So I'm just going to go down the list, and I'll put on screen glorified photoshopped team poses. So for our first team, our number 1 team, we have Team Lone Wolf. Goju Wolf from Gojuger, Geki Violet from Geki Ranger, Gao Silver from Gao Ranger, Okami Blue from Q Ranger, and Inu Brother from Dawn Brothers. Well, Inu Brother's actually just a dog and not like a proper wolf. I thought it was fun to mix it up. And this is our main character team. We're focusing on Goju Wolf again, but the rest of the cast is going to be preferably returning actors if they could get them. But they're all Wolf Rangers except Inu Brother. He is just a dog, and I thought it was funny because, again, he's the CG character. Next, we have the Hero Mamas. That name is not my own. It came from a few years back. There was a big pseudo crossover where they took some now mothers who are former Sentai actors, and they had a little special together, so I took that. The leader here will be Maji Mother from Maji Ranger. Her name has mother in it. Why wouldn't she be on this team? Then from that special, we have Hurricane Blue from Hurricane Ranger, Deca Yellow from Deca Ranger, and Maji Pink from Maji Ranger. And lastly, Kyoryu Pink from Kyoryuger. This one is because this is one of the few cases we know of where a Sentai member ends up becoming a mother later on, as we see in King Oger. Next, we have the Powerful Rangers. For one, we have Tirana Ranger, Ju Ranger, aka our MMPR Red, then O Red from O Ranger, our Zeo Red, Kiba Ranger from Dai Ranger, which is our White Ranger from Mighty Morphin, Abare Black from Abba Ranger, who is our Dino Thunder Black, and Green 2 from Bioman. Why the heck is this here since we didn't get a Bioman adaptation? Fun fact, Saban, before adapting Zhu Ranger into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, tried like a decade before with Bioman. So this is a very deep cut reference to fans who know the trivia. Next, we have the Gorgeous Sentai. These are anniversary popular characters just across the board. People love them. First, we have Gokai Red from Gokaiger, then Shiken Red from Shikenger. This is actually the most popular by vote. Then Kyoryu Red from Kyoryuger, another very popular red. Yeah, 3 reds. It's a very powerful team. Then Papillon Oger from King Oger, and Pink Flash from Flashman, as in 2026, Flashman will be celebrating its 40th anniversary. So I thought it'd be fun to, you know, celebrate the oldest season that was at the time. So next we have the Not Red team. This is a team of Reds who aren't the leader and or just There's other Reds on the team, so they don't have all the spotlight. We have Zenkai Jiron from Zenkaiger, then Kabuto Ranger from Hurricaneger, Time Fire from Time Ranger, Ho Soldier from Q Ranger, and Aka Ninja from Ninja, both the Gold Sash. Because it's not confusing enough. Ninja has technically 5, but like 3 different Aka Ninjas, and the differences are the sashes. This is the Gold Sash, so it's like the mentor, grandfather. Next, we have Monster of the Week. These are all characters that transform from one costume to another, so under the suit isn't a human, it's a robot, alien, or whatever, it's just not another person, it's another suit. So we have Deca Master from Deca Ranger, Stag Buster from Go Busters, Zenkai Majinu from Zenkaiger, Oshi Black from Q Ranger, and Ryu Commander from Q Ranger. These are all big, different suits underneath. A lot of them are on the bulkier side. Next, we have Mach Speed. These are all racing-based or car-based. They go fast. So we have Gohan Red from Go Onger. Then we have Boon Orange from Boon Boonger. I would say probably the most popular of the cast. Red Racer from Car Ranger. Black Turbo from Turbo Ranger. And Zenkai Vroom from Zenkaiger. Well, I could have taken someone from Bokanger specifically. Zenkai Vroom literally turns into a car. Next, we have Goshuger. And not the actual season Goshuger. This is a team of characters who have the same motifs as the Goshugers. So we have Wolfzard Fire from Maji Ranger. Yes, this is the only other red wolf. Next is Zhuo Lion from Zhuoger. This is, our Goju Lion. Yu Solet from Yu Soldier. This is our Goju channel. Vol Eagle from Sun Vulcan. Our Eagle for Goju Eagle. And Tenma Ranger from Dai Ranger. While Tenma Ranger is supposed to be like a Pegasus. What is a Pegasus? It's not a unicorn with wings. So this is our Goju unicorn. Going off the whole animals, we have weird creatures, as I call them. These are one-off, like, not really common animals or creatures that have been the source of power for a certain Sentai member at one point or another. And some of these just, you never see again for good reason. So Ginga Green from Ginga Man. He's supposed to be a condor, a falcon, dragon, hybrid. Literally, I can't tell you. Every single source has a different, reason. So, Ginga Green, he's up there. Then Yellow Owl from Jetman, because we've never had another owl. Top of that, Golden Gold from Go Onger, who is, get this, a freaking chicken. Then Change Mermaid from Changeman, because in seasons where everything is, animalistic, I think it's funny that a mermaid, that ain't an animal, buddy. And lastly, Russo Black from Soldier. Middle Needle is not a Stegosaurus. It's based off of Miragaya or whatever. Listen, it's one of those dinosaurs that's similar, but it's different. It's very specific. Next up, we have the Lost Heroes. This is a team of characters who don't really have a designated team per se, and or very obscure, so it'd be a lot of fan service seeing them. Aka Red, who just doesn't have a season, debuted in Bokanger, but then King Kyoryu Red from King Oger, who's a crossover character. X1 Mask from Maskman, the first movie Sentai member. Gosei Green from Ghost Sager, who doesn't have an actual suit, so there's just blue on colored green. And then Tokyo 7, who is only from the Tokyuger movie. Next up is additional heroes. These are members who are on the team, but they're not Sentai. They're just on the squad, They get Ranger keys, but they're not Rangers. We have Sunoni from Dawn Brothers, Ninja Man from Kaku Ranger, Signal Man from Car Ranger, Suban from Bokanger, and Mele from Geki Ranger. All of these famous suits that, straight up, how are any of these Sentai members? None of them even look remotely close to the seasons they come from at that. Next is Colorful Bunch. These are all characters that are either debated what color they are to be represented as. We have Zhuo the World from Zhuoger. People debate if he's silver, gold, or black. Battle Kenya from Battle Fever J, debate between green and black. Zen Kaiser from Zenkaiger, who is just a rainbow, and while there was a whole special about him being white, he's still the rainbow character, so it's confusing. Deca Swan from Deca Ranger, people debate if that suit is orange or white. And King Ranger from O Ranger, while it's always been designated as a black ranger in Sentai, in America, it's always been debated if our Zeo Gold Ranger is actually a gold or black ranger. Then we have Once and Always. These are characters whose actors have played multiple Sentai members throughout history. It's confusing, but you'll see what I mean. First, you have Big One from Jaka, whose actor played Owl Ranger from the original Go Rangers. Then Oni Sister from Dawn Brothers, who is, by the time I'm recording this, not even technically announced, but will be Goju Unicorn. Beat Buster from Go Busters. The actor played Maji Yellow in Maji Ranger. Ninja Red from Kaku Ranger's actor ends up playing Black Knight later on in Ginga Man. And Mito Ranger from Go Ranger actually ends up playing Battle Kozak and Battle Fever J. Now, what if it was from a sister franchise? We have the Riders. These are all Sentai actors that ended up moving to Kamen Rider or vice versa. Kira May Silver from Kira Major ended up playing Kamen Rider Vram, and since that was the latest, instance of a Sentai to Kamen Rider character, I made him the leader. Zhuo Bird from Zhuoger is Kamen Rider Kaiksa. Ranger from Go Ranger ends up playing Kamen Rider V3, and yes, if you remembered, he also played Big One. So yeah, he's got a reputation as some characters. And Go Blue from Go 5 ends up playing not only Kamen Rider Alpha, but Kamen Rider Falchion. And for our last two teams, I decided to categorize it by the two biggest eras that define Sentai, the Showa and Heisei era. So for the Showa team, we have Denzi Red from Denzi Man, Gogo Black from Gogo 5, Dyna Blue from Dynaman, Green Sai from Live Man, and 5 Yellow from 5 Man. Lastly, the Heisei era team, Hatarain Ichigo from Hataranger, Lupin Yellow from Lupin Ranger, Mega Pink from Mega Ranger, Boken Red from Bokanger, and Pink Turbo from Turbo Ranger. Now that you know the 16 teams, there's going to be a lot of fights. It is going to be split into 4 different rounds. Round 1 will be 1v1 fights, round 2 will be mecha fights. Yes, we're bringing back mecha for this. Round 3 will be 3v3s, and the finals will be a 5v5 fight. Since our focus is on Team Lone Wolf, I'll be going over them first. But we will see all the fights going forward, even if they aren't relevant to the plot whatsoever. So the first match will be Goju Wolf versus Wolfsard Fire. Goju Wolf will win. Go on Red versus Whole Soldier will win. Zenkai Maijinu versus Melee will win. Denzi Red versus Mega Pink will win. Go on Gold versus Deki Yellow will win. Aka Red versus Kaiser Red will win. Kiba Ranger versus Papillon Oger will win. And Owl Ranger versus Big One, Owl Ranger will win. Do any of these fights necessarily make sense? Do some of these characters, would they definitely lose? Or do they definitely have more power? Listen, we're here for the fun, all right? You guys can power scale and debate in the comments. I'm not doing that here. The second round will be mech fights. So based off of the remaining team members, for reference, whenever one member goes up for a fight, they can't participate in the next two till the finals. So the second round, we're gonna have Geki Ranger's mecha with the wolf leg, our Jungle Fury Megazord, but RJ's piloting the leg and just summons the spirit that happened there. I don't know what it's called, that formation, but there you go. And then the Q-Rex, which somehow the Geki Ranger mecha will somehow beat that, which I really don't think is fair, but yeah. Ninja Man versus Pat Kaiser. I like to think that since Lupin Yellow's on the team, maybe we get a new Pat Kaiser combination with Lupin Yellow's arm. Magi Sprite versus Gabutira. Magi Sprite will win. Both are just single mechas, they're not actual Megazords. Uchi Origami versus Kirame Silver's mecha, I don't remember the name. And the Origami will win. Our third round are just whatever remaining members of teams will be fighting. So Team Lone Wolf versus the Additional Heroes team, and then Hero Mamas versus the Gorgeous Sentai. Lone Wolf and Gorgeous Sentai will both be the winners and will compete in the finals. Lone Wolf will of course come out on top because main character. But before we wrap up this, you don't think it's just gonna end like that? A simple victory and it's over? No. There's always a plot twist, the big bad at the end. Once that fight is over, right? Once Gorgeous Sentai somehow loses, even though their team is so much more powerful, the winning team will be confronted by 10 evil past Sentai Rangers. So these aren't villains, these are arguably characters that can transform, or you can be grouped with Sentai in some way, shape, or form. We have Garuda from Gozuger, Dark Buster from Go Busters, Death Ryuger from Kyoryuger, Blue Iris from Kaka Ranger, Neji Led from Mega Ranger, this is our Psycho Ranger, Don Murasame from Don Brothers, Gaisolg from Yu Soldier, Hibitsuku Metal from Q Ranger, Ido Shinkenred from Shinkenger, and Hakaiser from Zenkaiser. Some of these are just like corrupted characters, but they're still cool, so we're including them. Yes, so the winning team will have to fight them, and in this fight, they're gonna get the power and assistance from Aka Ranger and all of the non-included members in the tournament, and they're gonna get a power boost, and the whole team will get a power-up. So if you recall, most of these characters don't have actual power-ups, so brand new toys. I like to think Geki Violet would get like the Beast Claw and get a super mode like the rest of the team. Yao Silver, in both America and Japan, had this connection with this monster wolf thing. I don't remember the name in either version of the show, but I think that combined with like the Blue Moon version of his mecha, something like that. Okami Blue would just get a new Kyutama with a new form. I'm thinking something along the lines of like the Ryu Soja armor, but wolf themed. You could base it around the movie mecha. And then Inu Brother would just get the Onitaji Phoenix. All that being said, one final fight, they win, and then they get their wish. And after whatever character arc happens to Horu, the final wish would be a world where Sentai isn't needed. A world where peace can be restored and Sentai isn't needed. They can all enjoy their lives as people, or aliens, or whatever they are. Snap cut to Metal Heroes coming back and Sentai dying. So that is my pitch for a proper final season of Super Sentai. And if you liked all the team shots, you know, that was a pain in the butt to crop all those characters, but that was, yeah, it's cool seeing them, all the suits together. Anyway, I want to thank you all so much for watching. This was a really fun video to make. I have another much bigger Sentai video planned, so I would stay tuned for that. It is kind of sad to say that there's a chance that Sentai really is over, even with how much conversation, speculation's out there right now. Only time will tell, but no matter what happens, the Super Sentai spirit lives strong, and we also have more episodes than freaking One Piece if you do want to actually just watch everything. So it's not like it's necessarily going anywhere in our lifetimes, because I mean, we still got enough content to watch, but it's a shame that it seemingly is coming to an end. And I will miss it if that is the case. I'm going to miss you guys more and wish you all a lovely day.